This is a key point that I feel like a lot of people miss. They keep scaling the advertising without looking back at the product.
Product refinement, whether you believe it or not, just like Hormozi said, is one of the key components to actually building and scaling a business. Now, don't even take my word for it. The man built and scaled Gym Launch in under 2 years, sold it for $46.2 million. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be telling you guys exactly how you can never lose a customer again if you simply focus on the product other than retention. As he says right here,
that you don't have these crazy churn people exiting on the back end, because otherwise you enter the hamster wheel of death, which is really tough.
To eventually, like what he said, avoid the hamster wheel of death, which is churning and burning. Now, my name is Patrick Thomason. It's my current mission right now as an agency owner to help other agencies, coaches, and B2B guys who are making $30K a month, guarantee them new high-ticket clients and sign more clients using our recurring frameworks, decrease churn and burn, etc., etc. If you guys are new to the channel here, second link down below is going to be our free newsletter, how I took my churning and burning agency, like Hormozi said, which is probably one of the worst things you can possibly do and get out of, to having $15,000 days using one framework. I basically saved my agency using that framework. You guys can go ahead and subscribe to that newsletter down below. It's gonna be the second link to get all the answers, daily uploads, things like that. More game there. So the three things that Hormozi actually wants us to focus on, especially in his leads course. If you guys haven't checked out that leads course, go ahead and check it out. I'm not even an affiliate of it or anything. I just think it's amazing. Now, the biggest issue that we have as agency owners right here is acquisition, nurture, sales, and then retention. As you can tell, as you get more in the bigger leagues, especially if you're already making a solid amount of money. In this video, like I said, I'm going to be showing you guys how exactly to avoid churn and burn, how to increase retention and decrease the churn and burn, because that is the hardest thing to actually get out of. I have had so many times where I have onboarded clients. I'm sure you have as well. You onboard a great client. It took you so long as far as the acquisition process and nurture process and sales process goes. You finally sign them and they churn within 2 months or something. And you're just like, you're ripping out your hair because you have no clue what's going on. So obviously retention gets harder as you get bigger in the space, just because you have more people actually intaking your program, and it's hard to track and hard to have those one-to-ones. So basically, service delivery of my agency, I'm not going to be showing you guys, I'm not trying to pitch you guys here, I'm trying to show you the service delivery, how we actually help people, other business owners who are above $30,000 a month, essentially retain more clients and get out of the churn and burn phase. Now, this isn't an easy process, but it goes all the way back to fulfillment. So it all the way goes back to how are you speaking to your prospects, like what up the promises of this video. I'm going to show you exactly how to decrease churn and burn. And it goes right back to acquisition, nurture, sales, and then fulfillment. So in your paid ads, in your copy, in your organic content, in your cold emails, how are you framing your prospects before they even get nurtured? Are you approaching them in a way that sounds desperate, sounds needy? Are you having constant headlines like, hey, I'm currently selling XYZ? Do you have proper sales assets? In other words, do you have authentic nurture sequences that will increase the lead temperature? Now, what this means is, are you actually giving value to your prospects? For instance, this video is a sales asset. It's a nurture sequence in of itself, because I'm educating you more on not only my product or service, but I'm educating you on how to retain clients for a longer period of time by literally framing your paid ads, copy and emails and stuff like that a better way in the acquisition process. So if you can nail acquisition and frame them better, they can get nurtured even better. The sales process becomes even faster, even shorter sales cycle. And then when you fulfill them, they're already expecting what's going to happen. They already know, like, and trust you a lot more. Unfortunately, a lot of the fulfillment issues that I've seen when I've worked with $30,000 plus agencies a month is the biggest retention problem really comes down to expectations and trust. Those prospects that signed and churned very quickly, guess what happened? Their sales cycle was typically very short. There wasn't a lot of trust, and everything happened very quickly. Now, a short sales cycle is not bad. It's actually really good, but you have to do it the right way. And so what we kind of show business owners how to do is how to have those multiple lead acquisition sources. So you're seen on cold email, you're seen on paid ads, and you're seen on organic content. Then you have those authentic nurture sequences, which then push those leads to your videos, your content, whatever it is, which increases the trust. Now, the biggest revolver here that is actually going to move the needle the most, especially what helped Jack and Treyas over here, who Treyas joined the program, I don't know, within 5 days. He he's a med student. This is one of our older coaching offers. He actually booked his 6 appointments within 5 days. Jack got 40 plus leads from LinkedIn, getting some close now. So we have case studies and testimonials on the channel if you guys want to go check them out. I'm not going to speak too much about that, but the biggest thing that helped these guys out the most was having a personal brand. Now, personal brand is just going to revolve everything and just make the clock go a lot quicker as far as sales process goes. Now, what I really like to do is I really like to say, look, okay, how are you framing them as far as acquisition? So if you're making organic content, how are you sort of, positioning yourself? Is your personal brand strong enough? Are you somebody who's and who can be known, liked, and trusted? That's the right word. As far as sales goes, it's very simple automations. But it's really going to come down to the entire process and how it flows. So if you want to get out of the churn and burn phase, if you want to sign more clients consistently, and if you want to actually get clients that stick with you for a longer period of time, you have to nail everything. It can't just be retention. You have to nail proper acquisition. So in other words, attracting the right people to your page, the right people to your offer, attracting the right people to your website, attracting the right people to see your stuff. Then you have to nurture the right people. And then you have to sell the right people. Then that allows you to retain A+ clients. You know, you look back at all your clientele and you go, okay, what was the biggest factor in the best performing clientele that stayed with me the longest? That obviously got the best results and we could work with them very effortlessly. You know, go back into your history and look at what was kind of the demographic. How much money were they making a month before they joined? Where did they kind of get at when you were helping them out? And what was kind of the biggest takeaway? For me, I noticed that it was typically the bigger dogs. The guys that had more capital to start up not only took bigger risks, but they already had more business competence. So in other words, they already knew everything about this sort of process and how it goes. I didn't have to break any limiting beliefs or push them through different thought subjects. They already knew exactly how acquisition plays into nurture, retention plays into sales, sales plays into acquisition, acquisition plays into retention. Like everything plays into in of itself. And so they knew the importance of a personal brand, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'd only really want to work with agency guys or coaches or B2B guys who are already making, $30,000 a month because, obviously it takes time to build up these systems and it costs an investment. I'm not going to lie to you. But more importantly, if you nail these systems correctly, you will be a much better business owner. So the biggest key takeaways I can tell you really quickly is to take a note of what are you doing as far as acquisition goes. Are you sending these sketchy DMs every single day? Like, hey, I'm doing this. Nobody cares. Are you sending selfish cold DMs or cold emails out every single day and hoping and praying that the marketplace gives you something in return? Or are you actually providing value to the marketplace, whether that's through a YouTube channel, whether that's through paid ads? Are you directing your leads through an opt-in page? How are you doing the sales process? Do you have automations? Are you following up with your prospects? Or are you simply just letting them fly out in the messages and do absolutely nothing? Do you have proper, authentic nurture sequences like a daily newsletter? I have over 400 agency, B2B, and coaches in my daily newsletter. I'm actually going to make it after I do this video. And this literally helps increase the lead temperature because these people they read my newsletter every single day. And so they're more familiar with who I am as a person. I tell them more stories about my personal life, my business struggles, things like that. That builds trust. That's a key indicator and a really good example of an authentic nurture sequence. You have a daily newsletter, you build trust with your audience, things like that. And that also plays into proper sales assets. Obviously, you can make VSLs all day long, but if you look salesy, there's no trust, and you look shallow, nobody's going to want to buy from you. And so it's kind of this dance that you have to do as far as acquisition, sales, and fulfillment to deliver, protect, and then get the right clients on board and have them stay for a very long time. It's not easy, but it's a process that takes a little bit. That's why, we charge what we charge. That's why, we focus the demographic on guys that are already making this kind of money because they understand the importance of it as well. And they want to get to the next level. They have to really think kind of out of the box here. So we're here for fulfillment as well. Obviously, you need to have these, A+ setters on lock. You guys can have these A+ closers as far as sales goes. And fulfillment, you guys got to have trackers, KPIs, metrics. What can your prospect that now is a client, what can they do every single day? What can they open up on their dashboard, on their desktop? They can see I'm going to be doing this every single day towards my goal. I know for a fact I'm going to be doing XYZ today, and then I'm going to log my progress here and track my KPI here. These little things are what really keeps the clients. These little things like meeting weekly on Zoom really help out with retention. I think I saw like a huge change in retention as far as an increase of retention goes when I started meeting with my clients every single week on Zoom. It's a better touch point. You're as face-to-face as you can get. Obviously if they're across the country, you can't fly out and see them, but if you're on Zoom, you can see them face-to-face. It builds more trust. It's better for the relationship. It just overall helps the client feel like they're not lost in no man's land. Having group calls, if you run a bigger agency, things like that. And so now it really comes down to making sure that your clients feel comfortable, they feel upfront, and they feel like they can come to you with anything. So if you have all of these fulfillment modules and fulfillment systems built out for you, this now in turn does a great job at retaining more clients. And so with that being said, what we do at CMRR is we handle everything as far as acquisition, sales, and fulfillment goes. So we'll cover in setters, closers, things like that. All the automations, everything as far as paid ads goes. I have paid ads, media buyers who run everything for me. And then with the fulfillment, we help you essentially. Our guarantee written in black and white is we guarantee you 10 high ticket clients that sign for at least 6 to 12 months for your offer in 60 days by installing our recurring revenue framework. So like I said, you guys can go apply for the work with our agency down below. It's going to be the first link. If you're not above 30K, go ahead and fill out the second link. It's literally just your email. You guys can see how I literally went from churning and burning, having $0, $500 days at max to having $15,000 days with one framework. I hope this video helped. You guys understand the importance of retention, acquisition, sales, but more importantly, how all of these 4 different components play a factor in each other. And then I hope this video helped you guys understand the inputs that you have to do, how you have to show up authentically, how you have to show up with purpose, how you have to show up with actual value in order for the marketplace to see you as a valuable person and then actually want to sign with your product or service, whatever it is. Hope you guys understood these inputs, these outputs. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope this video helped. Peace.